Hello everyone. Today we will discuss one more topic from the vibration, that is the critical speed or the whirling speed of the shaft. Okay. So as you can see in the diagram, we are having a shaft. Okay. Now when this shaft rotates, it may well go into transverse oscillations. Now if the shaft is out of balance, the resulting centrifugal force will induce the shaft to vibrate when the shaft rotates at high speed, which is equal to the natural frequency of transverse oscillations. These vibrations are very large, showing the whirling of the shaft. Okay, at the whirling speed of the shaft, the vibrations will tend to infinity. The deflection will tend to infinity in the shaft. Okay, as you can see here, we are having this shaft. Okay, so if we are having eccentricity in the shaft, that is E. This is E eccentricity of the shaft. Now as this shaft rotates, this eccentricity, this deflection will increase till one point, and that point is the whirling speed. If we are operating at the whirling speed or the critical speed, this eccentricity or the deflection will tends to infinite. It will become very large. So we have to find that point where we should operate such that this deflection should go on decreasing. So okay, so we will discuss it and derive one equation for the critical speed, at what point this deflection will decrease. So you can see this shaft, and it is having some uh, stiffness kt, showing by kt. So when it rotates, the restoring force acts in the opposite direction to whatever the centrifugal force is acting, which is cause for the deflection. Okay, so here is the restoring force, that is kt into x, where kt is the stiffness of the shaft. So it is acting in the opposite direction to whatever the direction in the centrifugal force, which is cause of the deflection. Okay, as shaft rotates due to eccentricity, centrifugal force is acting in this direction, and it is the cause of the deflection. Okay, and restoring force is acting in the opposite direction, you can see here. And restoring force, we know the formula, that is kt into x. X is the deflection at some point, and kt is the kt is the uh, stiffness. Kt is the stiffness of the shaft, and x is the deflection at point, and here in this direction you can see the centrifugal force is acting, which is cause for the deflection. So we will see here, I already told you in the figure that we are having two force, one is centrifugal force and the restoring force. Okay, both are acting in the opposite direction. Restoring force is kt into x. Kt is the stiffness of the spring, x is deflection at some point. Okay, and centrifugal force is equal to mx plus e omega square. E is the eccentricity already in the shaft, and x is the deflection at some point we are talking about. Okay, so net centrifugal force will be m, total deflection, that is x plus e is the eccentricity and x is the deflection at some point, and omega square. Okay, it's centrifugal force. And omega is the speed at which you are operating. It's not the natural frequency, it's the speed at which you are operating. So just by solving this formula, finally we are getting the equation this: the net deflection at some point x equal to e omega square divided by omega n square minus omega square. Okay, where omega n is the natural frequency of the shaft, and omega is the frequency at which you are operating the shaft. Omega n is the natural frequency, E is the eccentricity already present in the shaft, and x is the deflection at this point. So if we simplify this formula, what we are getting is this equation, which is very important equation: x by e equal to 1 by omega n square minus 1. So what we can see from here is that if omega becomes equal to omega n, if omega becomes equal to omega n in this equation, what will happen? That 1 by denominator becomes 0, so x will tends to infinity. X will tends to infinity means the deflection will tends to infinity as the omega will become equal to omega n. What it means? It means that if the speed at which you are operating the shaft becomes equal to the natural frequency, the speed at which we are getting the natural frequency, then the deflection in the shaft will becomes to infinite. While if we operate omega at such a speed that is more than omega n, if we are operating omega which is greater than omega n, that we are operating the shaft at such a speed that we are operating it above the natural speed, okay, then x will becomes negative. X will becomes negative. What it means? That deflection will decrease. Deflection starts, goes on decreasing, and the life of the shaft will tend to infinite. Okay, so the speed at which we will operate the, you have seen the turbine or the fan you have seen in your CPU. Okay, these are the speed at which these are the speed at which we operate is more than whatever the speed at natural frequency. And the speed at which x tends to infinite, okay, means when omega becomes equal to omega n, we call the whirling of the shaft. Okay, so whirling of shaft occurs when omega becomes equal to omega n, and the speed is called the critical speed. So we can easily find out the critical speed, that omega n equal to under root k upon m or g upon delta, we already know. So omega n equal to 2 pi n by 60, and we can easily find out the value of n. N is nothing but the critical speed. Okay, so critical speed is nothing but the speed at which we are getting the natural frequency. Okay, so you can also see that omega n, it depends on the eccentricity. It is independent of the eccentricity. It depends on two factors, that is k, m. Okay, it does not depend on the eccentricity. It depends on the dia, it depends on the span of the shaft, and does not depend on the eccentricity of the shaft. So you can see that we have to operate at a speed, like if we starts from here, that is 0 speed, and it is somewhere omega n, and it is omega. So if we are operating here in this region somewhere between 0 to omega n, then what will happen? The deflection will start and it will lead. Okay, and as if you will reach omega equal to omega n, here at this point omega become omega n, then the deflection will be infinite. It is the same speed, the critical speed. Okay, so and in this region the deflection again starts decreasing, and this is the favorable region. So whatever the turbine in the dam or power plant you have seen, we operate only at this speed, that is the more than omega is greater than omega, and this is the favorable region because here the deflection starts decreasing. Okay, so this is favorable region, and if we becomes omega equal to omega n, then the deflection becomes infinite, that is the critical speed region, and here deflection starts increasing. So you will ask one more question, that because to reach omega greater than omega n, we have to cross omega n. Okay, so what we do, we start speed increasing the region as we reach to omega n, we start suddenly reach to a region which is greater than omega n, because if we stop a lot of time at omega n, then deflection will lead to infinite. Okay, so we operate on this region, that is omega is greater than omega n, and critical speed is nothing but the speed, whatever the speed that we get at the natural frequency, n equal to 60 omega n upon 2 pi. This is the formula for the critical speed of the shaft. Tomorrow we will discuss some numerical on this same topic. Thank you.